Good morning. We've decided to do a little impromptu garden tour. I'm off camera today because it's really early in the morning and I don't feel like putting on makeup and all that stuff. Hi.
Hey.
Do you want to show us around?
Sure. This is the front flower
This is the front flower bed.
bed area that we started in 2021.
So that was last spring. So, introduce us to all the different plants. First, sorry, 1 second. Look at my tree. Isn't it so beautiful and so tall? In my opinion, we have the nicest tree on the block. And just a little something special, depending on how you feel about this kind of thing. Not sure if you can read that. K plus J. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Continue.
This is our planter that we planted. Some perennials. We didn't know if they'd come back, but they did this year, so we have mint.
It's not mint.
Oh, sorry, oregano. Actually, we should start harvesting this.
Yes, it's already quite.
I'll do that today.
Cool.
Sage
Mm-hmm.
and chamomile, which self-seeded. It's not a perennial, so we were surprised that came back.
Yeah, it actually came back a lot bushier than I was expecting because it was really spindly at first. Let's take a look at these leaves.
Actually, all of these looked like they were going to die, but we decided just to leave it and they started growing.
Yeah.
So we left it.
We do have another chamomile plant. I'm just going to peek around the corner. It's just sitting over here, and all that white stuff is spray because it's infected with aphids. That
Maybe.
one wasn't self-seeded. That was, I planted that in February and had it indoors until, when did I bring it out?
We decided to go with
May,
the
I
rosemary
think.
bush this year.
That is the one perennial that did not survive the winter.
So he bought 3 plants from Rona, and we planted a couple of seeds.
Actually,
which-
we planted like 12 seeds.
Oh, yeah, but the
only 2
birds-
came up.
we had them in the back, and I think the birds were picking them up.
Yeah.
So they were growing. I'm going to move this into the sun.
Good plan. Who's next?
Oh, the planter is oregano. So we did.
Basil.
Sorry, this is basil. We did seeds, and then I bought 2 organic plants from the nursery as well.
They're actually doing a lot better than they were.
I'm gonna have to.
Let's take a close-up look at this rosemary because it's doing really well.
So our
Look at the basil after.
bed isn't as deep. Well, it's doing okay, but the poppies came out so early and then they died. So there's one there. I'll cut this one out.
So it's Piper and Pepper, the poppies.
And then
There's my
we
shadow.
have our
Okay.
woodland sage, which came out really nice
Sylvia the salvia. I like to name plants, by the way.
as well. And then the 2 Susans, which should come out soon, but one of them was coming out in an animal.
That's Susie and Becky, the Rudbeckias.
Animal bit the head off, so
Yeah.
I need to water those. These are just the purple one over there and this yellow one is just annuals, so I don't expect them back
That's-
next year.
That's a Biden, and that's a why is the name escaping me right now?
There's supposed to be violets over here, but we'll see what this.
The Johnny Jump Up viola, and there's a patch here, and so we have one that has come up so far, which is weird because last year there were so many. collectively, they're known as Johnny Five. Hey, you're missing somebody.
The hollyhock that didn't grow because it got eaten as well.
Yeah. The hollyhock doesn't have a name because last year it didn't grow at all, and this year it hasn't grown much bigger. Like they're supposed to be like 3 or 4 feet high. So this is some incentive for you to grow hollyhock, so that I'll name you next year.
This is another annual that I bought.
Is this a yellow pansy?
We planted 2 blueberry bushes. One's doing well.
This year. These are our
This
new
year.
additions.
This one's not doing as well. See the leaves? I'm
Yeah.
trying to revive it. We'll see.
We're thinking maybe it's just not getting enough water because this is on a slope. You can't really tell.
Yeah, but then that one's okay. So this one was really small. Both of them were smaller. They both did grow. And then this one's obviously bigger. And then this one stopped growing and is looking like this.
Yeah. Let's take a close look at some of this damage. So, I'm not sure if it's gonna focus. But this one's doing better. Although this one has some spots on it too. And let's just take a look at the basil since we're here. Looking good. Smells pretty good.
And this area is just a little patch that we put oregano seeds on. Or no, sorry, sage seeds. So see if they grow up.
Did we do just sage here, or did we do both?
Just sage.
Just sage. And then this is brand new. You just planted this last week?
Mm-hmm. Something.
So late in the season, but we just needed to fill up this space. So,
Yep. And with a daisy?
Daylily.
Daylily. Oh, and get this confused. This is my water barrel.
Rain
Rain barrel.
Rain.
Yeah.
catching.
So,
We haven't had any rain for a while. Is there anything in there?
yeah, there's.
Yeah. All right.
I put that up pretty much right away as soon as we started the garden, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a year after.
So when did we start the garden?
2017, late.
Yeah, really late. August, so it was past. So we didn't actually like have a garden really the first year.
Yeah.
But we'll show you. We started with just one above ground box, and we have expanded since then.
So where does it at?
Show me your latest addition.
Stones?
These are from our old patio. We'll show you why those are there in a minute.
This is my compost bin.
Sort of. It's just yard waste.
Yeah, put it in the bottom, I think. I'm gonna turn it and see what's under there. I haven't. Might be really decomposed. That's from the beginning of the year.
I think personally it's really important for everybody to be doing their own composting and gardening and stuff, especially with all the like soil poisoning and stuff that's going on.
Look at this contraption.
He just did this yesterday. It's because usually he reaches over the fence, but it's hard for me to get over there, so just, you know, pulls up, lets down. Alright. Next year we're getting, starting at this fence and probably down to that post, just do a bed of wildflowers, so we're going to dig all that up.
So then it's good to put the not so good dirt on the bottom. It's because it's filler anyways, and then just put the good planter dirt on top. Which is what I did here, because this is an area that was dead as well, and there was an ant hill or ant thing here.
Compound.
So,
It was like an ant
So I had to,
compound.
it took me last summer or the summer before.
It was last summer, I think.
We didn't want to use chemicals, so I just used boiling water and I kept dumping it on the hill, dumping it. Finally, the ants went away.
So
But then if you can leave it like this and not growing, then they'll come back because it's like.
Yeah, well, you planted grass, and this was all
Yes.
grass last year.
Yeah, so that
But no, it's not grass anymore.
because an animal kept digging it up during the winter time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was grass, and then it died.
Oh.
So we planted this year. This year, like a week ago, we put in some ginger. So here, I don't care if it's like gross here because it's not fully tilled or anything. There's one head that's come up. So I planted these about.
Look at a snail.
Oh yeah. So I planted these
Oh, how
pretty deep
cute.
actually. So I planted them at least an inch below. the
Yeah,
soil.
I work at a restaurant and we use a lot of ginger, and I saw that 3 had sprouted, so I just cut the sprouts off and brought them home. So next we'll talk about the trees.
Sure. Our apple tree. This is Pingo.
This is Pingo.
And look at these apples. This is the first
actually-
year it has apples.
Technically, well, the first year for a while.
No, this one never had
Oh,
apples.
okay, because this is Pingo the second. Because first we had Pingo the first. Where was he?
Down there, then here.
Yeah, he was, I don't know, over there somewhere.
It's too wet.
And we moved him to over here because it was too wet.
Then he
But then
died.
it was still too much sloping, so he died. So
We returned it and got a new one
the
because they have a
nursery,
2-year guarantee.
yeah, the nursery has a guarantee. So yeah, he's doing really good this year. This is a dwarf tree, but I mean,
I don't know.
it's so tall already. I love it. I can see it from my bedroom window now, which makes me really happy.
We didn't yet have apples on the first couple of years, and then we pruned it the year before last.
The last fall,
Yeah. And
fall
then,
of 2020.
And then we didn't get apples, we thought, because we pruned it, so it was like put energy into growing again. And then last year we had a really bad frost in June, which killed all the blossoms, so we didn't get apples on any of the trees. So then this year, the weather was perfect, so then we got apples. I think these are
So-
supposed to be
These are red
Macintosh.
Yeah. So we actually, here, let's, without showing anything else yet, because we'll come back to it. Go over to Ringo. So this is Ringo. He's an original. So when we planted our first garden bed, which is this one, we'll come back to that, in 2017, we also planted Ringo. This is Ringo. And Pingo the first.
Spiderweb.
And Ringo has given us apples for 2 years. And then took the year off last year.
Because
So-
of the frost. Look at the
So-
spiderweb here.
Yeah, I see it. You won't be able to see it on camera, but it's right there. So, just to explain the names, Ringo is Japanese for apple, and Pingguo is Chinese for apple, but I want them to rhyme, so it's Ringo and Pingo. So, anyway, he's a hybrid. So, actually, there's 4
It
different
was tagged,
kinds
yeah.
on here.
There are
So-
2 tags still.
One there, one here, and then the other one back there. So we've got red Macintosh, same as the other one, red Delicious, yellow Delicious, and one other. Yeah, that's yellow Delicious, that tag. I don't know what the other one is. Let's see, can you see this? Now you can see it. Well, at least you can see the crap stuck in it. There's a big spider web there.
Right.
Ooh. Oh, that is the spider. He just caught something. Good job, buddy.
I don't like him in our apple tree. He didn't get rid of him.
Yeah, whatever. But he's good because he kills bugs that
Okay.
want to eat the apples.
Cool.
So anyway,
He eats the apples.
I don't think he's gonna eat the apples.
That's good.
This is how Ringo's apples are doing. Some branches better than others. Let's go back over here and do the hanging pots in order, please. And thank you. This one's
Oh,
dead
that's
already.
nice. Yeah.
He looked really good before. I don't know, I'm calling it a he. This is a lobelia, a purple one.
Still kind of green foliage, though.
Yeah, but
Underneath.
his time has come.
You think?
Yeah, they don't bloom all summer.
Huh.
So, actually, the whole reason we bought this was just really for the pot. So we're just like, we'll just put it in there. Yeah, we just put these up this year. We decided because animals keep eating our stuff, so we're like, oh, make it just a little bit harder for them.
I thought it was just for decoration.
Well, that too.
Okay.
So So these are California poppies. I don't know what is happening with these yet. They're not looking very good, like the yellow. And they're supposed to have a bloom time starting in July, so they should be blooming soon, but
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I got the poppies because they're edible and they're good for sleep and pain relief. These are the nasturtiums. They're doing really well, considering they're in a hanging pot.
Mm.
So these leaves are edible. Apparently it's very peppery. You can take them and put them in salads and stuff. The flowers are edible too. I'm not
Sorry.
sure if I'm actually going to eat those or not. By the way,
You're
look
good
at
for
them.
pest control.
The neighbor's Japanese maple is beautiful and like hangs over into our yard, so it's borrowed scenery.
The other pot's behind the tree. That's just annuals I bought, like
Yeah.
$4 annuals.
Yeah, well, let's go over. I'm gonna squeeze by Ringo here. Hopefully not get any spiders on me. These are just pansies. Yellow and purple ones. Oh, I didn't explain when we were in our front flower bed that I kind of had like a color scheme going on. And it was supposed to be red, like a sunshine yellow, and like a bluey purple. But they don't all bloom at the same time, so I need to work on that.
Oh, look at these annuals.
Yes.
I mean, so these are our perennials. Our first perennials are only 2 perennials back here. We had them beside the
They were beside the
door.
rose. We'll show you where in a second.
where the sliding door comes out. There's dirt there.
Yeah.
So instead of grass, we just planted these, but then had to transplant them because they're putting the deck there. So then I didn't know if they'd survive. I just dug a hole in the grass. And
Yeah.
the reason why this one, there's
I would
something
have
in the
preferred a
back.
bed, but he did this while I was at work.
Anyways, there's a hole back here because that's where the old perennial was, because it keeps kind of moving,
Yeah.
shifting a little bit.
It grows kind of beside where it was the year
So
before.
It'll probably shift a little bit back there next year.
Yep. So this is Shasta daisies and daylilies.
Should I have to cut some of these?
So the daylilies bloom in June, and they're pretty much done. A few left maybe, and the Shasta daisies are going to open at any time now. This is
The one we built.
in 2017, and when we first started, we just had lettuce that first year because it was so late in the year. And then you branched out to cucumbers, spinach, and celery, and then the lettuce as well. And now, explain what you're doing here in this bed first.
This isn't part of the bed first. Well, last year, was it last year or the year before? I think last year
Last year, yeah.
we bought pots of.
Oh, we bought the pots in 2020, but they were in the house for like
they
a
were
year.
in the house, yeah. And then so we had them in there, and they weren't doing well. So then when the spring came out, we put the pots outside, still in the pots though, and
No, I transferred the pots to the long troughs that you saw, and these were just backups, just in case.
but then the winter was coming, so we thought, well, the perennials, maybe we'll just put them in the ground. So I built this, like, I didn't even build. It's not even a build. It's like
just scrap wood,
3
yeah.
pieces of wood, and just against the box. And I dug in maybe not very big, not very much. Maybe dug in that much, and then put dirt on, and then I transplanted the plants in. So they're only like maybe here.
Yeah, they
here,
were little.
and here. And
So,
here. So they're very little. Then all of a sudden they exploded. Like
This is advice for anybody who's going to be starting a garden. Keep your mints separate because they've blurred together now and they crossed. So this is lemon, this one here. And then we have peppermint and spearmint, but we don't know which is which. And it doesn't really matter because it's kind of a cross now anyways.
I've already harvested these twice over.
Oh yeah,
and
you
it's
can
strong.
tell that he's been chopping this a
So
lot.
this, I don't care if I chop them, like, and pull the leaves, because it'll just grow.
Yeah.
But anyways, this was like this. So this was already grown this much in a month or
Yeah.
less. And this will get hot too. But anyways, they grow all together, so it's not bad. And it's actually good for coverage for the actual bugs, for pests that don't like the smell. But anyways, we have 3 rows of carrots.
And then you put up these little strings here to keep them from being too unruly.
These guys, yeah, to keep them off the thing.
Oh, to keep them off the dirt.
box. Yeah, so then
That's
I can
good.
water better.
Yeah.
Because when I water, they just flop on the thing.
Yeah.
And also,
eventually maybe we'll get like some drip tape or something because
because of
more efficient.
these guys are so high that if they're drooping, then they won't get the sun.
Yes.
But they're plants. They still go up. But
And what are these guys?
who?
You just said these guys are tall. Who are
so the
these guys?
cucumber? I have two. This is only 2 cucumber plants.
This is his homemade trellising system.
The second year, I planted 3 or 4, and it was just like, because I didn't know what they would be like, but it was too much, and so this is only 2 plants.
So let's take a close-up look. Nothing's come in yet, right?
Well, you see little guys like this,
Okay, I'll take
but they're still little right now.
So these are their flowers. Do these have two different kinds of flowers, or
Male and female. So this is
which? That's
the
okay.
male. This is the female.
How can you tell the difference?
Because this looks like a cucumber.
Oh, so you can just tell by the nub.
Yeah.
And then what do you have to do? I noticed you had Q-tips out on the
Well, you can
porch.
self-pollinate or
You like
just
pimp
wait.
them?
Yeah.
Okay,
Or-
so let's look at what a female looks like. And this will turn into a cucumber as long as it's pollinated, right? So that's why you do the self-pollinating, just in case?
Just in case.
So what do? Like, you just take a Q-tip and you just like rub it on the male and then rub it on the female?
Yeah. Or just take a
Is-
flower and I'll do one now.
Yeah, like is there a special technique?
So I take one off.
And they're only open in the morning, or?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, these I don't need a Q-tip. I just pop this off like this. Pop the petals off. Oh, there's a bug in there.
Hey, don't flick it at me.
Oh crap! This one's didn't go too well, but 'cause I'm trying to avoid the bug. So this center stuff
Okay, hold on.
is what you want. The good stuff.
The center
Which
stuff.
usually I keep it intact, but today it's not gonna happen. There.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bring it over here, and I'll just shove it into the middle of this guy.
Just like
Oops.
it's plant sex. So just put the male in the female.
Like that.
Oh, big pimping. Good job.
And then just take it out.
I
I'll leave
love-
it there.
I love the little like the curlies.
Tendrils, yeah.
Yeah, they're so cute how they just like reach out and try and like grab onto something. Okay, and then this is the zucchini.
Yeah. One thing with the beds though, this year I didn't do last year, is I mulched it. In the years past I didn't mulch, I just left it dirt. But it's good to keep the moisture and the watering is better.
Okay.
Keeps it more even.
By the way, we have this. We put this up in 2018. This is our rabbit to Durant, because we planted like lettuce and carrots and whatever, and we came out one morning and everything was like shorn down to the ground.
So I already got 2 zucchinis this year.
Yeah,
This is only 2 plants as well.
and I can't show because I'm holding the camera. But how big were the zucchinis you got so far?
Regular size, but they can get really big. I've had one big as my arm before.
But you're supposed to
Done.
harvest them before
Yeah,
they get too big
exactly.
because they get watery and.
Actually dry. Too dry.
Oh, there's one there.
Yeah.
A big guy actually. They're really spiky. So there's 2
Where's the other one?
right here. That's the one I saw.
Cool.
And then the baby one. No, there's gonna be 3.
Well, maybe.
Well, that.
It is.
So
this
these are
is the
very
second
scratchy.
plant. So yeah, I get scratched.
I always tell him to wear long sleeves when he's doing this. He doesn't have to listen to me.
This is the first plant. So I staggered these, by the way. So I only put 1 cucumber and 1 zucchini. I started the seedling. All of these were from seed, and I started them inside, except for the carrots. I direct sowed them, but it works better. Actually, this area has always been carrots. For some reason, the carrots really do really good in these areas. I know you're supposed to rotate, but I've never had a problem, so I kept them there. So I staggered the plants a little bit. So if I wanted 2 or 3 of each, I would do half, and then half I started maybe 4 weeks after. So that's why this guy's little. Because you don't want all, if you start them at the same time, you get all the fruit all at once. You're just like
Overwhelmed, yeah.
Especially with zucchini, you can't really freeze them.
So is this the same kind of thing with the flowers, or? I
Yeah,
thought one
it's like
had
this
like
one.
yellow flowers.
Yeah,
and...
so come
Oh,
over
that's the
here.
zucchini. So like the
So
male
this is, you need
flowers
cucumbers.
are.
The male ones are the ones
Ooh,
that don't.
that's huge.
See that stuff there? I can pull off with a Q-tip. But I don't pull it off. I just pull the pollen off.
So just like
Or
with your
whatever it's
fingers,
No, with a Q-tip.
with it. Oh, with a Q-tip. And then where do you put it?
In the middle of the the female flower, but we
And
don't have any
where's-
females open right now.
So this closed one, this is also a male flower? Right beside it?
Yes,
That's a male flower too?
these ones are closed because it's not time yet to open. It's still pretty early. It's like 7, almost 8, 7:30. It's 8
Yeah.
o'clock.
So I guess you have to like be diligent about keeping leaves off the dirt.
Yeah, it's hard with this crazy thing, but
Yeah.
so these have already been pollinated. They're gonna die. I should pull them off.
Okay.
But these
And
ones
then-
that are twisted nicely, they'll open.
Yeah.
When the sun comes out.
And how many plants are you said this is only 2?
Yeah.
How many plants are you expecting to get off of this for the year?
How many zucchinis even?
Yeah.
In the past, I've gotten at least 20 plus.
20? That's good.
But this year, I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
I'm always nervous with the yield. That's okay. It's good just to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of our gardening is just for fun, just an experiment, just a hobby. The other part is like, to supplement whatever. And we only grow stuff that we eat, which is why we don't grow like a lot of stuff that other people do. Okay, so you want to do these next?
Okay, so I started last year or the year before. I started
This is the year before.
potatoes in containers. So those bucket
The
containers.
5-bucket
Those
guys.
are that's like the
Yeah. Our first year, I think we only had 12, and they were like,
because we
This
use
big.
grocery store. Yeah. So then the last year, I used seed potato, which increased our yield, but still I only used a couple buckets. So this year, we decided to go more. So we did a Rubbermaid container. So I put six or 8 seed potatoes in here, probably 6.
and tell me your method.
So you just fill it like maybe 4 inches, and then put the seed potato in, and then cover it. And then as the tubes grow, you cover it until you can't cover it anymore, obviously.
Because if a potato gets exposed to the sun, it turns green, and that's actually toxic. You can't eat that. It'll make you really sick.
So recently, there are some that don't have anything because recently I bought,
Recently, like within the last 5 days.
seed potatoes were on sale. So a big pack of seed potatoes were $5. So I decided to do the staggered.
Yeah, potatoes are my favorite food, by the way. So
So
I said, please grow as many as possible.
Hopefully we'll harvest these in August, and then these maybe September or October when it gets the last things I harvest. So
Tell me
once
this
these flower, after they flower, then they'll start dying. That's when you harvest. So, but the things are popping up already.
Sorry for the shakiness.
That looks
I'm
like a
trying
dead
to pull my sleeve
It's
up.
actually the top of the seed potato.
Okay, and
You can see
then
more over there.
okay.
The potatoes. The flower, starting to flower. And then this is a new container. You can see 1, 2, 3 are already popping up.
Okay, let me take a look at these. You said they're starting to flower. Is this a flower? What am I looking at?
Yeah. Wait, no.
No.
Yeah, it will be. Looks like something ate it.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, something ate this one for sure. Those are just whatever. So anyway, I've never actually looked at these leaves. They're very velvety, and I like how they're like little ones growing between the big ones. It's cute. They're cute. Potato plants are cute,
Yeah, that's a nice point. Even to have just the green.
like ornamentally.
Try and
So
do
you've got
these beds
2
first.
tomatoes here, and then we'll just go to the beds, and you can explain tomatoes.
These were our extra tomatoes. So
Yeah.
Put them in the pot.
Were these cuttings or are these just extra seeds?
Extra seeds.
Extra seeds. Okay, so let's do this bed first then.
I've got 2 PE plants.
Wait, these are 2 metal boxes that we got on Amazon this year because we wanted
Couldn't
to
find
get.
wood.
You can't really see it. Okay, let me come over here and show you what this box actually looks like. So this is just like a cedar box that we built in 2017. You can see that it's very like rotty and stuff already, but I like it. Like it's rustic, so I wanted to get more. But wood is so freaking expensive.
If you can even find it.
So we just got these on Amazon. So they're just metal, which is fine. And they're smaller. Like the wood one is 4x6 and these are 3x4, I think. So that's why we got 2.
So I really like peas, and I had a pea plant last year, and I bought it from the nurse. No, sorry, 2 years ago. I bought it from the nursery, and it was just, it had this trellis in it, and it was in a pot size that was pretty fair size, like twice as big as that. And it did produce peas, and then it just died because I think it's just
Too
determined. Yeah, it's
constricted.
just confined to what it can do in a plant in a little pot.
Mm-hmm.
So the next year, the year after, I bought pea seeds, and I put in one pea seed in each in the same container. And again, it grew, and it gave me peas. But then again, it died. So then I thought maybe it's the summer, it's too hot, right? But then, so this year, I started these seeds inside, and I put it in this box, and it's twice as big size because obviously it has more room, twice the size of the one in the pot, and it's already given
It's like
almost
thick.
the same yield, yeah, that has to come off as the container. So that's the whole basic reason I wanted the container. Sorry, the box,
So
to give
these
them more
are
room.
these snow peas or snap peas, or what kind of peas are these?
Like snow peas.
So you eat the pod,
Yeah. Stir fry it.
and you've
eat it.
got two.
Yeah, but I staggered these by, again, like at least a month, and look how big this one is already.
Yeah, look at these cute flowers.
This one was so little.
Flowers are darling.
So this one, this plant here by itself has already over 20. So this plant itself
Yep.
was the first one I've harvested at least.
You said
over-
20 already?
Over 20 at least. This one I haven't even harvested anything yet.
Look at, they're holding hands. That's cute. Oh, he's like choking out his brother here.
So this one I haven't harvested any at all. So this would be probably my first harvest off of it.
Yeah. What else is in this box?
This guy wanted to actually, I bought these late, so
Yeah.
that's why it's holding on to this guy and this string.
Yeah,
for
'cause you weren't-
stability.
You weren't expecting that one to get
That's
as
all
big
it grew
because
at.
yeah,
You know,
it never really
barely
got
grew about
bigger
this,
than that.
So
Yeah.
it's like double the size. So
That's good
she
to know.
saw the tomatoes before because it was like before I.
Yeah, he just gave them a summer haircut.
Because once they start to, you don't have to, but once they start getting fruit or you see the blossoms, you want all their energy into creating the blossoms and the fruit. So then you cut off all of these the below branches.
Yeah, and also you don't want them to touch the ground because when they get wet, they can transport disease to your plants.
They're hard to see though.
There's a tomato here.
It's hard to see again. There
On
to
this
see
guy.
them. Yeah. Oh yeah, right there.
Lots.
2 of them.
That'd be good.
There's
So the
one
reason
here.
we haven't done tomatoes
There's lots here. This is our first year of tomatoes, by the way.
because I hate tomatoes. I like tomato sauce, but like tomatoes just to eat by themselves, I hate.
So I'm gonna use.
So he's gonna eat them because we actually
I'll
won't
use
get
them in
enough.
sauce.
We won't get enough to make sauce.
Supplement to sauce. Look at
Yeah,
them.
like I plan to actually get a bunch of tomatoes and make some sauce this year. So this is my idea. The nasturtiums that are over here,
There's 2 here.
this was just an experiment to see how they were going to grow. So this was actually the reason I bought them, was because for companion planting, because nasturtiums are bug repellent. Because of their peppery flavor, I guess bugs don't like them. So they
Seems to be working so far.
suggest planting them in with your tomatoes.
I
So
haven't
we
noticed any pests.
we had 4 different ones in here, but only 3 survived. So the one in the middle that you saw over there hiding, and then these 2.
Oh, there's some more little guys.
Some
This one's got so big, and these ones we planted them at the same time. I thought these ones would be better because they're out
More
here,
sunlight,
and that one's
yeah.
choked by all of these things, but it's still bigger.
Yeah. I don't know. Just could be the quality of the seeds. All right, so that's that box: pea, tomatoes, and nasturtiums. And then the last box.
Wow, like real high hopes.
Introduce us.
So this is the bok choy. I tried finding bok choy, but it's hard to find those seeds. I couldn't find
I
any
don't know what
readily
the difference
available.
is actually.
So you can harvest the whole head if you want, but then you won't get repeat.
Come down in here.
You won't get repeat mineral growing, obviously. So I've been harvesting the outside and then the mineral grows. But they're starting to get really big. I might harvest this whole head
So
because it's look at it's retarding the growth of this lettuce.
yeah. So you're sure that pak choi and bok choy are different? I thought
No.
it was the same thing, and it's just like, you know how in Chinese it's like,
They're pretty much the same.
it's just different pronunciations.
Yeah.
Like Peking and Beijing, it's the same place.
I don't know. I don't know exactly. I don't think so.
And then, okay,
I've
so
always harvested some lettuce.
so you have two different kinds here?
Yeah. Butter crunch and romaine.
Which is which?
I don't know. I have it written down inside in my book.
Okay, but romaine you're supposed to let get up like this so that you can harvest a thing.
Yeah, we'll see if it does because I think they're too close together, but we'll see. I'm also going to try later. I'm going to do a fall crop of, like once these all die, because these will die in late August. I'm going to put in kale and lettuce
Okay.
just to keep the beds occupied
Ground
till
cover?
the winter and through the winter, and they're hardier, colder crops.
Yeah.
This is my broccoli.
Tell me your broccoli story.
This is my second year trying to grow broccoli, and usually it just does this, but it doesn't, the heads don't come up. But I think the first year I tried growing it, it was too hot because it likes the colder temperatures, and it got too hot and just kept growing and growing with nothing inside. So then I cut them off, they died, and then that same fall, the fall, since I thought, oh, okay, I did research, they're colder, so I put some in August, like I'm gonna do with other things, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and it was the last thing in that box over there. So that box, the old box, there was nothing in it except 2 broccolis. But then it ran out of time, it started snowing, and then so that's it.
Yeah, so hopefully that. And then we have one
Yeah, it's doing better now.
cauliflower down here, which we bought because we had. Did you have 4 broccoli plants and 2 died? And then you got just 1 cauliflower to replace?
Yeah, plus they weren't. I knew they weren't.
was too crowded.
Yeah, too crowded.
Like this looks like it could turn into broccoli.
So I'll always do that with the seedlings. We started the seedlings inside, and I'll bring like 4 out here, and I'll plant them, knowing that I'll only have 2 plants, and I just survival of the fittest. I pick the 2 best ones.
Yeah.
That's what I did with the tomatoes. So I picked the 6 best ones, and then I had extra, and they were like doing so good, but I knew it was going to be too crowded. So then I put them in 3 pots, which are over there.
Okay. So, want to introduce us to Rosie Perez?
Sure. This is our rose tree, which is just our 2nd year of having her. But actually, when I did the math, this is probably her 3rd year in existence. So
Yeah, because at
first
the
year-
nursery they probably had her in a pot for.
But yeah,
Not nursery, we bought her at Rona.
Rona.
Yeah.
It's actually Rona has given us good quality stuff, but sometimes better than the nursery.
Depending.
The first year we had her, she was so small, right? She started off small and she got really big, and she gave us lots of roses. We were so happy with her, and we planted her really deep, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it. It shows up on camera. It's really deep, deeper than any of the other perennials.
Put your hand like. Yeah, like it's like bowl shaped.
Because you're supposed to do that in colder climates.
For our climate, they suggested it, yeah, to protect the roots.
And then winter came around, and then she started looking. These guys here turned brown and started looking like this, but they were still big. So I thought, I didn't know anything about roses. I thought, will they grow off? Will it turn green again like other perennials? And then I started noticing, yeah, the green leaves started growing at the bottom, but then these stalks still came up. They weren't turning and green at all. And then I did some research, and they said that the roses do that every 2 years. So because the nursery had it for 1 year, and our first year was its 2nd year, so that's why it was like this. So then this year, this coming winter, these might not turn brown, but the next year after that they will. And all you do is just cut them down. I only cut them down to here because for protection, to protect the other things, the thorns are really thick.
Yeah. Let's take a close look.
There's like a couple down there, but you can cut them down all the way if you want. Apparently roses, you can try to kill them as much as you can want to, even if you want to kill them, but they won't. They'll still come. Like this guy here, if an animal comes, look out.
Yeah. So this is the best looking rose.
I deadheaded lots of these. We have so many.
The color of the rose, for some reason, will not show up on the camera. So this is all like washed out, and you can't see the definition really between the petals. but in real life, maybe this one's nicer. This one you can kind of see, but again, the color just kind of bleeds together. It's kind of like blue. If we go to see blue Christmas lights, they all look blurry. So I don't know what is up with cameras that do that. Anyway, I'm gonna just like tap here, and then I'm gonna
That's good.
put that down just so you can see more of the definition. But that's like making it really dark. Like, anyway. So the last thing to show you, we just had our deck built. We've lived here in this house for 15 years, and we just had this gloriousness finished about a week and a half ago. So the builders left, and then
Sounds like the way you said it. I know you didn't mean it, but it sounds like we've been building it for 15 years.
no,
It
we've
just
lived
finished.
here for 15 years, and it was just a empty space. Like we said on the way in, the patio stones were right there, and we had like the cement steps, and
They
that's
all are.
literally all we had.
But we had all our plants there. So
Yeah, we had
didn't
like
actually- all
a
of these
Japanese
things.
old lady. We had like a bunch of potted plants on our back step. But anyway, so they built this deck and pergola, and then mostly Jay stained it all. I helped with like 2 boards, and the tips. I did the tips. And then yeah, we set it all up last week, and we have been loving it. But now, that's why we're doing it in the morning, because it's only about 17 degrees right now. But it's gonna get up to about 30 today, so that's gross, and I don't like to be out here.
Let's go look at this.
So,
on the plant deck.
yeah. So anyway, now you can get a better view of the tomatoes and the potatoes.
These are 2 the tomato plants that were extra I was going to throw out, and I decided we have so many extra these like pots that we've bought plants in. They're just plastic throwaway pots, but we keep them. So look,
Yes.
they've been growing, but so can you see all these stalks that I've cut off?
Yep.
So you're supposed to do that. And look at this armpit.
Cut off the sucker.
Yeah. Anyways,
Good job. He's been doing his research on YouTube to learn how to take care of each plant.
it's the
Which
same
is
as that
good.
guy. So this little pot here I just did yesterday, and those 2 little ones, there are 3 more pea plants. So when these, I'm gonna try to grow in the summer. They don't, I know they don't like the extreme heat, but when these go off, when they die, because I was expecting them to yellow and die like the first couple of years, but they haven't. So we'll see what happens to those seedlings.
Yep.
I usually start in the winter time. I start them inside, but it's nice out. I just left them out here.
Okay, so what do we got going on the deck? Taking your shoes off? It's an outdoor deck, dude.
It's okay. This is another little tomato. This is actually the first tomato that we saw that had little guys, and I was so happy because I wasn't sure
Yeah.
what they would happen, and I've been
Yeah,
told
'cause
that
we
it's hard
don't-
to start by seed, tomato plants by seed. But the thing with buying, which is fine, and like the cauliflower I bought as a seedling at a nursery is, they're like $4 first of all, and you buy a pack of seeds for like $3 and have like, it's like 10 times the yield if they all sprout, or more than that. Is like you buy it and you plant it and it grows, that's fine, but then it's the fun of seeing it grow from a seed to that is like way more rewarding than buying this at the
Yeah.
nursery, because that's the size you would buy them at.
Yeah.
So it's 2 more pea seedlings. We have our thyme.
So what? Back in I think 2020, when I bought all my herbs in little pots, and I had them like just sitting on a bench in here. I had thyme, and the thyme was the very first thing to die. It caught like some sort of. It like had all this white goo all over it, and then it just shriveled up and died. But this one we got just on a whim the day when we went to go pick up the broccoli to replace pick up the cauliflower. We went to pick up broccoli. They didn't have any. We got a cauliflower. And then I saw a thyme, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. And like it was little, just like, you know, in here. And like, look at all this growth, and it's doing so good, and it smells so nice.
You bought this guy too at the same time.
Yeah, and this
Chocolate
is
mint.
my chocolate mint.
Well, I just noticed.
What's that?
Look at these little guys. Look how dark the leaves start off when they're so little.
Yeah, no trails. Cute. This is very interesting. It smells chocolatey minty, and
I don't know if it's in
just
your brain, but
we just harvested a bunch because there was like all these were full of big fat leaves,
made a syrup out of them.
and
Simple syrup.
well, we tried. We didn't boil it for long enough, and it wasn't
so now
thick
it's just
enough.
a water,
But
but it still does the job.
yeah, So other than that, we don't really know what to do with it. So if anybody has any suggestions of like what you can do with fresh chocolate mint or even dry chocolate mint,
Just do minty things.
I don't know. And then you just have a pot of pansies. And I should mention, as part of my original herb bundle that I bought, I wanted mint. And the nursery didn't have mint. They only had this, which is called hummingbird mint. So this is interesting. It's a minty plant. Not so strong. We're just gonna, yeah, minty. But this one's cute because when it goes to flower, it gets like these like cute, they almost look like miniature daylilies, like the sprouts of the daylilies. They're like little orangey yellow trumpet flowers, and they're really cute. So the spearmint and the peppermint that I have over here that we talked about, and then in the front. Oh wait, do we have any in the front still?
What?
I feel like we're missing some. No, this is all we have now, right? Oh, because my mint and my lemon that were in the trough one didn't survive the winter.
Okay.
Right? So we only have this for mint and lemon now?
Yep.
Is that correct? Yes. So anyways, that was all grown from seed. The lemon I had from, not this lemon, but the lemon that I'm talking about that was in a trough died over the winter, as well as the mint that I had planted from seed transplanted to the trough, not that one, because these were all extras in case the trough didn't work out, the transplant didn't work. Anyway, that was a tangent. So we got these cedar planter boxes as well. We just picked them up from Rona, and Jay stained them too, so they match the deck. And then because we just finished the deck, we were holding out on planting them. So we have all of these are going to be nasturtiums. I think I planted 13 in there, just whatever was left in the pack, because nasturtium seeds are like bigger than a pea. They're quite big. And then this box is going to be California poppies. Fingers crossed they come out. And then this one here is sweet pea. So like a blue, and it's called ocean sweet pea. Like it's a blue and white mix. So hopefully those are going to come up because we planted these also late in the year. And that one will have to trellis maybe up this way.
They should, because the hot part of the year hasn't even come yet.
Well, their bloom time, not their grow time. So the other addition to the deck would be these two chairs and this table that we just got to match the chairs.
Wind chimes, lights.
The wind chimes, which you've been hearing this entire time, likely. And these beautiful lights, which I've always wanted. Patio lights. I love them. So maybe I'll just do an insert here at the end and show you what they look like turned on at night.
I like if you sit down, the view of the garden from the deck is the best part.
Yeah. So this is his chair, and I just have to pull this up. This is my chair. So this is my view. Quite a nice view.
The cucumbers will get all the way to the top, so
Yeah.
it'll be even.
It's a nice little oasis we've made back here for ourselves. So as far as we can tell, we don't know because obviously everybody has fences and whatever, but I don't think anybody else in this area, in this whole neighborhood, grows vegetables or anything to eat. Like some people, like our next door neighbors here, have flowers and stuff, and they have gardening things, but I don't think anybody else is planting food, which I briefly touched on. I think is a very important thing to do in today's society. For one thing, food prices are going crazy, and it just gives you that kind of security. You never know what kind of shitstorm is going to happen, like with COVID and everything, things flew off the shelves and couldn't get it. Like, you never know. So it's, even if we were just doing what we're doing right now, we're not growing to really make a huge impact on our grocery bill, but we're growing a skill set so that, you know, shit hits the fan, we know how to grow food for ourselves.
Even this small scale takes a lot of work, and people in this area are either around the same age and have kids and they're busy and have full-time jobs. Most people, we have a lot of spare time, so we can do this. Then this would be either out of root, out of control, and not producing because I haven't been able to do anything, or like we wouldn't have been able to do it. I may not have put in those 2 extra boxes. So I think that's another reason why we don't see a lot of gardens.
I would just really like to encourage basically everybody to just, even if you're just growing like a few herbs in pots on your windowsill, they don't take a lot of effort, just a little watering here and there, just to get yourself started in growing, because like I said, like for the security of it, but also because it's good to just create life and like give back to the earth in some kind of way, you know? Anyway. I'm trying to grow plantain in the yard. Well, this is just volunteer plantain. I didn't do anything. This is just what showed up. I do have a stalk.
There you go.
Okay, so there were like 2 or 3 plantains on the other side of this box, and he just mowed the lawn and he accidentally mowed off the seed stalks. So I'm going to try and gather seeds. These are edible, by the way. When you get them young and tender like this, you can, if you have a bunch, you wouldn't want to get just one because that would be a waste. Do not mow this one, please. You can saute these and whatever and just eat them. But plantain is known as a weed, but it's a beneficial weed and is good for you and it's healing. And so if you're in the garden working and you get a cut on your finger or a bee sting or a bug bite or whatever, you can just do a homemade Band-Aid. Technically, you're supposed to get one of the leaves, wash it off a little bit, put it in your mouth and chew it up and mix it with your spit and spit on the thing. I'm not at that point in my growing life where I'm comfortable just putting something that might taste yucky in my mouth like that. So I just honestly take a leaf, just rip one out, rub it on whatever, like I had a bug bite and I just rubbed that on it and took the pain away, and then I wrapped another leaf around it like a Band-Aid.
How many stalks is it supposed to grow? Like 2 or 3?
Just one or two per plant, I think. Just one. Yeah. So
The guys were...
Yeah, like when they were building the
whole
duck,
area,
like
that's why I'm
you can see
surprised.
our grass is like not
See this
good
patch here?
here. But I hate grass anyways. That's a rant for another day.
Right here, so it made it all, you know. So there were tools were all over your things.
Yeah, I know.
Came up. Look,
Oh, cute.
I was gonna hang it on the, you know, because you're supposed to have like. I didn't want to cut it.
Yeah. This is from our first trip to Japan, 2010. It's a light. There's a little thing here. This is Mamashima.
I think we should hang cute little things like that in our
We definitely should just hang cute things everywhere in our life.
In our deck. On our decks.
Well, don't junk up my deck. It's like my new favorite thing to say. Don't junk up my deck.
So
All
then
right.
our next thing is gonna be
Yeah, or rip
wildflowers.
up some grass here, and then
Maybe
put
like
like
2
a
Stones.
log or stones or something. Which is too bad because we had a huge storm maybe about 6 weeks ago, and we were really lucky. We had no damage at all in our yard, front or back. But this whole area, there's trees down, fences down, like all over the place. So there were like full downed trees, and had I been thinking, I would have just like stopped some of the workers and been like, hey, can I have that? So anyway, I just want to show you my plantain. So there was that one there. And oh, there's another stalk here.
Good.
2 more. There's 2 growing here and 1 growing here. Hooray. That's good. So, oh, and another one. Okay, good. Oh, and another one. And another one. Oh, yay. I'm very happy.
Other stalks or other plantains?
Other stalks.
Okay.
So, by the way, I'm trying to grow beneficial weeds. I don't like to call them weeds anymore. I like to call them volunteers because they volunteer their services to you. The plantain is something that just came up on its own. Apart from other weeds that we have in here, there's nothing really that I know of that's like medicinal beneficial.
Dandelion, lots in the,
Yeah,
in
lots of
April.
dandelion. But
April. They die off by June.
I want to get some mullein. So there's a recreational trail a couple blocks over from here that we go down, and I noticed some huge mullein plants. So when they go to seed this year, I'm going to try and harvest some of their seed and, I don't know, plant them like down there or something. The neighbors will just love me for spreading weeds everywhere.
I mean, you even have grass anyway.
Yeah, true. So anyway, this is a great place to just sit and be with nature, and because I was really sad for many years living here because it was like we just had this patch of grass. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm someone who's always really into nature. That is completely not true. I was the one who would be like, it's too hot, I'm going inside. I still do that. And like I was really afraid of bugs and I just never wanted to be outside. But in the last, I don't know, what would you say, 10 years? 5 to 10 years. I've taken an interest in nature, and to the point where it's like it's become my religion, basically. So I was sad because there was no place where the trail is several blocks away. And other than that, like, we live in like this suburban jungle of concrete and houses and just no nature. So even though like our yard is not huge, it's, what do you think the dimensions of this? 25 by 50?
Not sure.
Something like that. Anyway, it's not big, but look at what we've created. It's not perfect. It's not ideal. It's not everything that I want. But right now with the deck and the garden and everything, it's healing to my heart. That's all I really had to say.
Cool.
Did you have anything else to say about the garden?
No.
So that's it for our garden and our tour. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This video is really more for ourselves. I think it's important when you have a garden too to document it, to see how you're doing and see how you grow, and I don't know. So that's my advice, everybody. Plant something. Thanks for watching our video. Bye.